गणपतये नमः इष्टदेवताभ्यो नमः कुलदेवेभ्यो नमः ग्रामदेव उमामहेश्वराभ्यां नमः माता पितृचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः हनुमान लक्ष्मण सीता रामचन्द्राभ्यां नमः आञ्जनेय स्वामिने नमः ध्यायामि अस्मिन् स्थाने श्री हनुमत्कृपाकटाक्षप्राप्त्यर्थे सीतारामचन्द्रानुग्रहप्राप्त्यर्थे भगवत्सान्निध्यार्थे प्रार्थनां नमस्कारं समर्पयामि। अस्य सत्सङ्गादिकार्यः निर्विघ्नेन परिपूर्णता सिद्धिरस्तु। ब्रह्मजज्ञानं व्रततं पुरस्ताद् सुरवेद आवह सविज्ञानमासुविष्टाः सततयोगिमसवत्सविमः
वरदरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। श्रियः कान्ताय कल्याणनिधयेर्निधयेर्धिनां श्रीवेङ्कटनिवासाय श्रीनिवासाय मङ्गलम्। वागर्धाविव संतृप्तौ वागर्धप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Good evening to all the Bhagavad Swarupas. At the outset, I would like to express my wholehearted thanks to the management, staff and volunteers working in this temple and the organizing team led by Mr. Sai Thutupalli, Saraswati Thutupalli and other team members. Today is a very auspicious day. You all know that Tuesday is truly auspicious for Lord Hanumanji. And this Tuesday in particular is more auspicious because it is the first Tuesday after Hanuman Jayanti that was done on this Sunday. There are different versions for Hanuman Jayanti. Some scriptures say it is Chaitra Purnami, and down south some scriptures refer it to be Vaishakha Baula Dashami, which comes in May. Whatever it is, the significance of Lord Hanuman and his presence here on this universe, is a blessing to the mankind. And therefore, on any Tuesday, whoever worships Lord Hanuman, he will shower his blessings abundantly and making us lead happy lives, prosperous lives, joyfully and blissfully. Today we are supposed to talk on Hanuman Chalisa and its relevance, I would say, in the modern lives. I see a mixed gathering here, good number of teenagers and of course matured adults, very few senior citizens here. So most of us, or all of us rather, in this room are at the peak of our careers, our education, our life, and we all have enough of challenges to face every day. Sometimes we wonder as to, are these challenges unique to me alone? Am I the only person who is facing this? Now it is under those circumstances Hanuman Chalisa throws a light to us. Every slokam or every mantram in Vedas or every chapter of any Purana, see, our Vedic scriptures are given in three forms. We call it Veda Vangmayam. They are either in the form of Vedas, which are like Shashanas, what they call as laws. Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara, Swadhyayaganma Pramadaha, Dharmanna Pramaditavyam. This is how it goes. It doesn't explain. Satyam Vada means speak the truth always. It is as simple as that. But it is given as a law. Do not cross red light. What happens if I cross red light? Next question comes. Because human mind is blessed with curiosity. The only difference that human beings have compared to other living creatures on this earth is we are given what is called as a special faculty, that is called intellect, buddhi. With this intellect, we are supposed to analyze, understand, assess, and then apply that for our own benefit, for mankind's benefit, and for the remaining species. Sahana bhavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahehi. This is what our Vedas and Upanishads teach us. So we are supposed to live together and lead a happy life. If you see those who are in sannyasa life, they are all named as, they would be having some other name like all of us, Janardhan, Madhusudan, Vasudev, whatever be it is. But once they take up this renunciation path and get into sannyasa diksha, invariably they will have a name ending with Ananda. Janardhanananda, Nityananda, Sarvananda, whatever be the name for that, but it ends with Ananda, because they are supposed to lead the life of blissfulness. Now, Upanishads say that every human being is, the Atma Swarupa is with Ananda. The state of Atma is blissfulness. Now we cover it up with the attachments to this universe. The worldly things, what we see, this is what Shankaracharya says. Viswam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nijantargatam. He says you are seeing the world in a mirror. If you see my image in a mirror, it looks like me, but it is not me. You cannot say he is Ramachandramurthy, because Ramachandramurthy is outside that mirror, not inside that mirror. So once you start understanding, then you are clearing the covers that are covering your heart from the blissful life. Now to understand this, Vedas have given a lot of explanations. But it is difficult for anybody, for an average human being to read and understand and apply that. So Maharshis have come out with Shmritis, which is a bullet points from the Vedas, which are useful to understand basically the significance and importance of what is said in the Veda. But even those are truly difficult to understand unless they are interpreted. So to make it simple, Maharshis have worked out with what is called as Puranas. Now in Puranas, they have been told in the form of a story. Satya Harishchandropakyanam, for example, there is one story of ruler Satya Harishchandra, who has been taken through difficult times but still decides to stick to the truthfulness. So what is the outcome? If he sticks to truthfulness and doesn't lead to falsehood, is what we understand from that story. So the statement that is made by Vedas as Satyam Vada has been given in the form of a story, an Upakhyana in Harishchandra. So that is how the Maharshis have done a great favor to the mankind by giving Puranas. Now there are 18 Puranas, Ashtadasa Purana. It is difficult again to read all those Puranas for all of us. Today we are all engaged in our own work, school, college, whatever it is. We find very less time to get into these things and understand. So later generations, they are also like as good as Maharshis like Shankaracharya or Tulsidas ji. What they have done is they have given us a summary and a crux of all this and made it in a very simple language, made it easy for us to understand and read at least, if not understand, so that you chant those names which are inscribed with Bijaksharas in some cases, with powerful mantras translated into those words. For example, in Hanuman Chalisa, we find a word called Kapisha. Jai Kapisa Tigulo Kabujadar. Now, Kapi is a word in Sanskrit for monkey, and Isha is a word for Ishvara. Now, does it mean he is Ishvara for monkeys or Ishvara in the form of monkey? Now we get it out. So these things have been resolved and explained to us to understand correctly what it means there. Lord Hanumanji is an incarnation. It is not birth that we normally take. We all take birth as a result of our previous karma. In the karma cycle, birth and reincarnation is a accepted practice. So we take birth based on our previous karma. But like Dashavataras, what we have, gods do not take birth as per the karma, but they incarnate themselves. That means they decide. Yada yada hi dharmasya gyanirabhavati bharataha abhyuddhanam dharmasya tada atmanam srujamyaham. This is what Bhagavad Gita, Krishna Paramatma says. Atmanam srujamyaham. Aham means I, Atmanam means my soul. Srijami, I create myself. So these are called incarnations. So Hanumanji is an incarnation of Lord Shiva. There are Visveshwara, Mahadeva, Trayambaka, Tripurantaka, Trikagni Kala, Kalagni Rudra, Neelakantha, Mrityunjaya, Sadasiva, Mahadeva. These are the 11 forms of Ekadasha Rudras, what we chant. So Mahadeva Swarupa is Hanuman, which is given in Valmiki Ramayana for us. So we have to first understand that when we are chanting Hanuman Chalisa, what we are doing is Ishvara Aradhana. Ishvara is, we all know, he is God. Hanuman doesn't appear like a god, he appears like a messenger. Ramaduta Atulita Baladhama. So Duta means messenger. He appears to be a messenger of God. So there is a message again for us. It is a symbol of humbleness and humility. If you study the life of Hanumanji or the very introduction of Hanumanji in Ramayana, we have Balakanda, and then Ayodhya Kanda, and then Aranya Kanda, and then Kishkinda Kanda. There is no mention of Hanumanji in Balakanda or Ayodhya Kanda. It comes at the fag end of Aranya Kanda, and Kishkinda Kanda he takes over, and Sundara Kanda is completely about him. Even Rama is set aside. Except for the end, there is a mention about him. But complete chapter is dedicated to him. So there is no Ramayana without Hanumanji. If he were not to find the traces of Sita, imagine what would have been Ramayana. Now such an important character or a person, Tumhare bhajana Rama ko pavai. This is what he says. That means you praise Hanumanji, you chant Hanuman Chalisa, but what you get is Lord Rama. Even Tulsidas ji, when he starts Hanuman Chalisa saying Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nijamana Mukura Sudhari. Who is that Guru? He mentions in the next line. Now Shri Guru Charana. Charana means lotus feet of Guru. Any poet or anybody, that is what our Sanatana Dharma teaches us. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwaraha. So therefore, we are supposed to pay salutations to the Guru. The greatest thing we find in Sanatana Dharma is nothing is done without paying salutations to Guru. So therefore, he also starts. But what the surprise here is, Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja means the dust. The dust particles on the lotus feet of my Guru, Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja. What it means is the dust particles settle down on the lotus feet of my Guru. May they Nija Mana Mukura Sudhari. My mind is like a mirror and it is full of dust. Let these dust particles remove the dirt on my mind, which is like a mirror. So far it is good because anybody will have to pay his obeisances and respects to Guru, so therefore he said Guru. But then he says, Varanau Raghuvara. I am explaining. Varanau means I am explaining, I am detailing Raghuvara Vimala Yasha. Lord Rama's Yasha, fame, name. I am singing the praise of Lord Rama. He did not start with Hanumanji. Because Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam. Hanumanji is one personality, what we have to understand in modern day today. It is a life led for others. Hanumanji's life, if you look at, Sanatana Dharma says, Paropa Kaaraya Phalamti Punyaha, Paropa Kaaraya Vahamti Nadyaha, Paropa Kaaraya Duhanti Gavaha, Paropa Kaarardham Idam Sareeram. Beautifully explained. Excellent examples given to make us understand. It says, Paropakaraya phalanti vrikshaha. The trees that give you fruits, they don't do it for themselves. They don't eat. They are meant for somebody else. They don't bother who come and pluck it and pick them. They don't ask, what is your age, what is your region, what is your race, what is your religion, what is your caste, what is your gender, nothing. No question asked. Anybody, it is open for everyone. Vasudhaika Kutumbakam. This is what our Sanatana Dharma has also taught us. Today's society, we are trying to divide ourselves and of course blame politicians for that. Because politicians they have to get their work done. So they are looking at maths equations. Nowadays, artificial intelligence has come. It tells, okay, if I want in Louisville, which community is more, if I want to get votes, so therefore it will give me the data. So don't blame politicians for that. Let the society take the responsibility. But it says, Sanatana Dharma says, you have to believe that Abrahmaloka, Daseshad, Aloka, Lokaparvata, that is your universe. Because if you go into Atma Jnana theory, it says here you are temporary here. You are a visitor on this universe. Maybe 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120 years maximum, not more than that. You will have to leave the body here and go to some other universe. There you will have another father, another mother, another brother, another sister. Or you will come back here, you will have another father, another mother, another brother, another sister. Kate Kanta, Kaste Putra, Samsaro, Matiya Vichitraha, Kasyatvam Kaha, Kutayataha. This is what Shankaracharya also says. So Hanumanji, life, what we have to understand. He is one personality who is like Paropakaraya Phalamti Vrikshaha. And it also gives another example to make us understand better. Paropakaraya Vahamti Nadyaha. The river flows and it allows anybody to take water, including cattle. It doesn't differentiate anyone. Whoever goes to that river, they can quench their thirst. So mankind has to lead their lives for Paropakaram. And Hanumanji, we call it leadership by example. So Hanumanji leads by example for that. How? This is where I started. Yatra yatra raghunatha kirtanam tatra tatra krutamastakani. He doesn't say, sing my glories, I will come, I will bless you. He says, sing Rama's glory, I will bless you. I am also doing the same thing, so you also do the same. Because he is Parabrahma. Now who is Hanuman? Hanuman is an incarnation of Lord Shiva. But still, he is setting us an example to lead your lives for others. So therefore he says, Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam, wherever there is a singing praises of Lord Rama, Tatra Tatra Krutamasta Kanjalim. He puts his folded hands on his head like this. Bhashpavari Paripurna Lochanam. His eyes, teary eyes, he will be there, enjoying that Rama Katha. Now you offer your salutations. Marutim Namata Rakshasantakam. Now, we have to see whether Hanuman Chalisa, I am not getting into the explanation of Hanuman Chalisa. If time permits, I will go into that also. We will do that, at least the synopsis of that. But first let us understand, is that relevant in modern times? Because that is what is the topic I have been asked to talk about. How is Hanuman Chalisa relevant in modern lives? Now, I will give you an equation at the beginning and we will connect it back again. But I request you all to remember this equation, or a word maybe to make it simple. We all want to be safe, aren't we? Yes or no? I didn't ask any different question. Difficult, it's not a difficult question. Yeah? Okay. So, if you expand this SAFE, let us see what it is now. In modern day times, S stands for suffering. All of us have suffering. Do we have or not? If anybody is here who doesn't feel that I don't have suffering at all, blessed soul you are. You don't have to listen to this lecture. One time or other, one day or other, one task or other, one place or other, we definitely feel this, that we are suffering. And second one is what we have to deal is with anger, arrogance. So we have to deal with either with ourselves. We may not be arrogant, we may not be angry, but we have the other person who is angry upon us, who shows his arrogance, and therefore we have this suffering or sorrow. So we have to deal with this. This is prevalent very much in the society today. And F stands for fear. Children will have fear of examination. Adults will have fear of deliveries on time, work schedules, meetings. Something or other is always driving us with negative emotions. And E stands for this emotion. Emotion is something what we need to balance. So from sorrow, if we can move to satisfaction, then this letter S, which used to be sorrowfulness for us, will vanish. Hanuman Chalisa, the chanting of Hanuman Chalisa will take us, transform our thinking, transform our lives from this yes to that yes. Similarly, from anger, arrogance, we will know how to handle and still achieve what we want. So those who chant Hanuman Chalisa, for them A is achievement, accomplishment. So what we are basically doing is we are converting the negative emotions either within ourselves or outside world. We will know how to deal with that and convert that into, like they say, there could be challenges. You should know how to convert them into opportunities. If you know how to convert them challenges into opportunities, then you are always lucky. You are blessed. Now the third one, fear. Shastra said, fear is always there for everybody, for anybody, at any point of time. They say, bhoge roga bhayam, kule chuti bhayam, vitte nrupalad bhayam. Vidyevada bhayam. About the fear, it keeps talking like this. Those who have comforts, bhoge roga bhayam, they will be worried about diseases. Now you have too much comfortable bed, you are sleeping very comfortably for some time, suddenly you will start developing backache. You go to the doctor and then he says it is because of your bed. So, bhoge roga bhayam, kule chuti bhayam. Kula means here, it means groups. You form some communities, some groups, and there is a fear of being divided amongst that. Vitte rupalat bhayam. You earn money and you are worried about your taxes. Other day somebody was telling me, the Trump administration has taken away my lifetime's earnings, which I have put it in 401k. So there is always a fear. What happens? Vidye vada bhayam. You are knowledgeable. You are educated. You are worried if somebody would defeat you in any debate or discussion. Your point will be turned down. So like this fear is always behind us, before us, by the side of us, and within us. Hanuman Chalisa chanting will help us from fearful state to fearlessness. And we know how to manage our emotions. Now, you may say, okay, we have given you a mic and made you sit there and sit down and talk. So you are saying, so how do we believe this now? So to understand that, you all must have heard these things, like if you pray to Lord Hanuman, what you get? You get buddhir balam, yashodhairyam, nirbhayatvam, arogata, ajadhyam, vakpatutvam cha, hanumat smaranat bhavet. This is what the stanza says, the poem says. So if you pray to Lord Hanumanji, what you get is buddhi, which is intellect. Now we already have that, so why do we need that? Without that we would not have come all the way here. That is a question now. Now the problem is, without our knowledge, there are two kinds of buddhi. One is called subuddhi, the other one is called kubuddhi. The malified intentions, malified intellect, the negative intelligence rather, intelligence used for destructive purposes is called kubuddhi. And opposite of that, of course, buddhi used for good things and good purposes is subuddhi. Now what do we mean by destruction? It doesn't mean destruction of physical world. It means self-destruction. Sometimes we take some decisions which we regret and repent later. I should not have done that. In 2022 I took this decision and it was wrong. And I am suffering now. We get that kind of a feeling. So that is, we destroyed ourselves, nobody else destroyed it. So throughout our life, we keep taking decisions. At that moment, we think it is right decision, but later on we realize that we were not right. Now that leads to suffering. For whom? For ourselves. So if we don't want to go through that situations, whatever decisions that we take must always be good decisions. In our day-to-day life, starting from morning to evening, how many decisions we will be taking? We will try to avoid many of the decisions. Wife comes and asks us, what should I cook today? We will say, do anything you want. Because we don't want to decide. Because she doesn't want to decide, she asked you. Now you don't want to decide, you will say, whatever you want, you cook. Then she will say, I have got so many things here. What should I do? So decision making starts at every stage for us. And every decision, we have to apply our mind and take decisions. Now, unless you put it into a process, because you are all here used to these kind of systems and technologies, unless you put it into a process, it will not be mistake proof. It will not be fail proof. So you have to go through a fail proof system of decision making so that you don't have any regrets later. So reading or chanting of Hanuman Chalisa will give you that kind of a buddhi which is automated using chat GPT or AI, whatever it is, to guide you to take a right decision so that you don't regret later. That is what buddhi which you get from Hanumanji by chanting Hanuman Chalisa. Now even a student who is writing an examination, there are a lot of students who read, who do a lot of reading, but when they go to the examination hall, just 2 days back I met, of course he was an adult, they go to an examination hall and they don't remember, they can't recall, they have read it, they know the answer, but they can't put it on paper. We call it memory, okay, but it comes out of buddhi. So Hanumanji's chanting Hanuman Chalisa grants you the first thing, that is buddhi. The second one is balam. Balam means energy. We need energy to our day-to-day lives. We get that energy by taking food or maybe some multivitamin tablets. So why do we need to chant Hanuman Chalisa? Now this is where we have to understand, rishis have given us, there is an internal metabolic system within human body and mind which can generate energies. We don't use them normally. That is called Anushtana Balam. If we can activate this Anushtana Balam, we landed, I'm not saying this for any appreciation, but just because the subject has come, I'm giving an example for you. We landed here last week, last Tuesday to be more precise. 2 days we were in San Francisco, then 3 days we were in Phoenix, then yesterday we came here, tomorrow we are going to Wheeling, and 3 days we are in Wheeling, then to Columbus 1 day, then to Austin, then to Dallas, then to San Francisco and back to India. Now our members keep asking me, Guruji, how do you get that energy? Some of them came from Boston to Phoenix for a program there, and they had jet lag. Couldn't come on time, said jet lag is there, Guruji, we are not able to manage. We are wondering how you are managing. The point I am trying to make is, you need to learn to generate energies within yourselves. And this is long lasting, and this is more powerful than what you get from your food or multivitamin tablets. Because after some time, the body stops working for responding to those tablets or even food as you grow older. So you need this Anushtana Balam. So once you chant Hanuman Chalisa, you get this Anushtana Balam within yourselves. The first one is mental strength, buddhi. The second one is physical strength. So chanting of Hanuman, are they required in these days or not, is what we have to think. These are eternal principles. It is not that they were valid only in Kruta Yuga or Treta Yuga and they are not valid in Kali Yuga. We cannot say that. You need them throughout, whenever it is, wherever you are. So buddhi, balam. The third one is yashaha, which is fame, kirti, what we call. So we all strive for that. They say babies cry for recognition, adults die for recognition. There is a saying in that. Only thing is, we don't express ourselves as adults. We know how to control our emotions. So therefore we control, but we all want to be recognized. We all want to be famous, popular, etc., etc. in our own circles. Okay, not everybody can be as popular as our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji or Mr. Trump here, but yes, within our circles. So chanting of Hanuman Chalisa will direct your buddhi and give you the strength what is required to accomplish the yasha, whatever you want. The next one is dhairyam, that is courage. You need courage. And the next one is, I am combining these two because there could be confusion. Nirbhayatvam. The sloka says like this: Buddhir balam yashaha dhairyam nirbhayatvam. Dhairyam and nirbhayatvam, they look similar. They sound similar, but they are not. One is courage, the other one is lack of fear. Now you may say lack of fear is courage. There is a difference again that has been clearly mentioned. Now I may be courageous, but I am still fearful. Can you connect with me? Yes. I was about to give the example of kids. You write exams. You go to write exam. You know you have to write the exam. You have done well. You have studied good. But still you are fearful. What will come out of that? What will be the outcome? And it happens for us in our adult lives also. We go to an interview. We write an examination, competitive exam. Or we apply for a job. Or we go to meet a new person. Or even for that matter, delivering a talk like this. So, you are having, there is, the Shastras give a small story for this. There used to be a bird which was enjoying its life on a tree. Suddenly it meets with an accident and loses its strength to fly off. So its wings are destroyed, damaged, so it is not able to fly, sits on the tree and decides itself that I can't fly anymore. I need to lead my rest of the life on this tree itself. So it sits there. One fine day, there is a cyclone. Heavy winds, gusty winds and heavy rain downpour on that. There is a situation where all the stems and barks of the tree are breaking. The tree is likely to fall. It musters the courage and flies off. Now what the story tells us is, in a situation where you are driven, you will muster the courage. But then, that situation may not be something which is in your favor. If you are driven out of circumstances, that means you are not under your control. It is circumstantial drive. That should not happen. You must be able to do it by yourself, under your control. That means you have the fear, but still you are doing it. Or you have driven the fear completely. So, because you are courageous, fearfully you will execute a task. And because you are courageous and fearless, you are executing the same task. The outcome will be different. I hope I am able to communicate to you what I mean by this. When you are doing it out of fear, you are not doing it to your full potential. You may be courageous in attempting the task, but you are not sure what will be the outcome. But if you are fearless and muster the courage what is required to do the task, then you are giving your 100%. That is what Hanuman Chalisa chanting will give you. Nirbhayatvam. Buddhir balam yashaha dhairyam nirbhayatvam arogata. Next one. Today, pharmaceutical industry is flourishing. They don't want us to chant Hanuman Chalisa. Question? I will take questions later. Okay? So they don't want us to. But previously, our rishis and munis, there were no hospitals, there were no medicines, there were nothing except for what is there in the nature. Amantram aksharam nasti, nasti moola manaushadam. It says, ayogya purusho nasti, yojakaha tatra durlabaha. What it means is, there is no word which is not a mantra. Mantras are assimilation of aksharas. There is no word which is not a mantra. You have all words somewhere or other in some or other mantra. Om, Aim, Hrim, Srim, Klim, Kaum, Gam. Like this it goes in different things. You have all alphabets. Every alphabet is a mantra. Amantram aksharam nasti. Like that, nasti moola manaushadam. On this universe, whatever the Brahmaji Srishtikarta has given us, he has given it for a purpose. So there is a medicinal value in herbs. So previously rishis depended on that. But today our lifestyles do not permit us to lead like that. So we resort into medicines. But chanting of Hanuman Chalisa will lead you to a situation wherein you will not fall sick. Now don't come back to me tomorrow and say I started chanting and I fell sick. What it means is you continuously chant Hanuman Chalisa. It liberates from your mind, because as I told you initially, the human body is not just a accumulation of organs as we see. It says there is a summary of divine forces in the human body. Prajanane Brahma Tishtadu, Padayor Vishnu Tishtadu. There is a Vishnu Shakti in the feet. Hastayor Haras Tishtadu. Those of you who chant Rudra will know this. It comes in Mahanyasam. Ahor Indras Tishtadu, Jathare Agnis Tishtadu, Hridaye Sivas Tishtadu, Kanthe Vasavas Tishtantu, Vaktre Saraswati Tishtadu, Nasikayor Vayus Tishtadu, Nayanayos Chandradityah Tishtayatam, Karnayor Asvino Tishtayatam, Lalate Rudras Tishtantu, Murdhi Adityas Tishtadu, Sarasi Mahadevas Tishtadu, Sikhayam Vamadevas Tishtadu. Like this it goes. It explains. Vedas explain. Human body, don't take it as accumulation of flesh, blood, bones. No. There is something which is driving the human body. Otherwise, a person who has ears must be able to listen. See, after some time, suddenly he says, I have developed some deafness. It is age-related syndrome. I am not able to listen. Speak loudly. What happened? His ears are there. A person who was running till yesterday, suddenly he stops running and says, I am not able to lift my leg. He goes to the doctor and doctor says, it is called paralysis. Now you will not be able to move your leg. What happened? His leg is there, his feet is there. So he has his organs very much available. People who have eyes but can't see. Don't we come across such people? So it is not presence of organs, but there is a divine energy behind that. That energy is what making us see through our ears, making us listen through our eyes, making us listen through our ears, making us walk with our feet, and making us do tasks with our hands. So it is that divine energy what we activate by chanting Hanuman Chalisa. And once that gets activated, Nirbhayatvam Arogata. That will not let you fall sick. Because what it does, see how the sickness comes. Sickness comes in the form of virus, either through air or through water. It enters into human body and then creates whatever challenges it has to create. So what the human mechanism body should do, it should immediately drive it out. So it tries to drive out and then it warms up. That is what we call body has got temperatures. So that mechanism, if it has to do without that, it should drive it out. When we go to the bathroom, it should drive it out. So there should be an active brain cell which is working and checking and keeping a check on all the organs. If there is an external element that has entered it, and it should drive it out immediately. And that happens if you chant Hanuman Chalisa. Health is wealth. What is the use of having wealth without health? We had a person called Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. You must have all heard of him. He himself said this. He said, I wasted my life to earn money and neglected my health. And he had to lead his life finally in wheelchairs for a couple of years, and of course he is no more now. He was not even 60. And left behind a fortune for his family. So you may say, Guruji, is it wrong to leave behind a fortune to the family? No. But don't neglect your health. Without health, Arogyame Mahabhagyam. This is what we say in Telugu. The biggest wealth is your health. So to protect your health, you need to do Hanuman Chalisa. So Buddhir Balam, Yashaha, Dhairyam, Nirbhayatvam, Arogata, Ajadyam. Next one. This is very interesting. Jadyam means procrastination, laziness, lethargy. We'll do it tomorrow. No, today is Tuesday, not a good day to start. I hear some people saying this. Mangalavaram Panikiradu. Mangalavaram, it is in Telugu, of course, we say Mangalavaram Panikiradu. But Mangala means auspicious. Why is it not suitable? Who said it is not done? It's not good. We are just looking for reasons to procrastinate. And then we'll say, I'll do it when I go to India. These kind of procrastinations are only causing delay to our own benefit. Whatever we want to start for our own benefit, isn't it? If you want to start Hanuman Chalisa chanting, you should do it from tomorrow. Because today you are here, otherwise I would have said today. Without procrastination, if you have to do your things, I just give an example of Hanuman Chalisa, but anything, whatever you want to do, you must do. You must develop a habit of doing it without any procrastinations, laziness. And that comes if you chant Hanuman Chalisa. And then finally, Vak Patutvam Cha. Vak Patutvam, what it means is being able to choose your words correctly, express yourself correctly, and communicate to people what needs to be communicated. The essence of communication is beautifully said again in our Shastras. Hanumanji is a living example of communication. If you look at his story in Sundarakanda, after returning from Lanka, all the Vanaras and Jambavant, etc., they all get excited and make him sit and ask him, tell me the story, what happened, how did you go from here, what happened, tell us everything. Then he chants 248 slokas. What he did, from the moment he took off from Mahendragiri, from there whatever happened he explains completely, in detail he explains. But then afterwards they go to Rama, and then Rama asked, have you seen Sita? He just does it in 6 slokas. The summary, the essence of entire thing, he presents in 6 slokas. Asandigdham, avilambitam. The way you have to communicate, you have to learn from Hanumanji. Without any delay, to the point, what needs to be communicated, has to be communicated. So therefore we have to learn that art of communication, or for some people it is by birth they have. In communication again, Shastra says, you should learn the art of communication by observing, by practicing, and by performing. So, Vakpatutvam is essential for us, being able to communicate. A lot of people suffer because they can't say no. This is the biggest challenge for many of us. Many times we want to say no, but we are hesitant to say no because we don't know what the other person thinks if we say no. He will not think anything. He will be happy to hear you say no because you have been plain-hearted with him or with her. But we stop ourselves from there and get into sorrow later on. So this Vakpatutvam comes because of chanting Hanuman Chalisa. So I gave you 8 important qualities. Buddhihi, Balam, Yashaha, Dhairyam, Nirbhayatvam, Arogata, Ajadyam, Vakpatutvam. These are the Ashtasiddhi Navanidike Data. These are the Ashtasiddhi that Hanumanji gives us when we chant Hanuman Chalisa. These are very much relevant to the modern lives. And the real Ashtasiddhis for him is Anima, Mahima, Garima, Lagima, Prapti, Prakamya, Ishatva and Vachitva Siddhis. He's talking about those Siddhis, but not for us. For us, these are the Ashtasiddhis what we get when we chant Hanuman Chalisa. So the Sri Guru Charana Saroja Raja, he started with that. Tulsidas ji is one of the greatest saints who lived in, not in Kruta Yuga or Treta Yuga, or even not even in Dwapara Yuga. He lived in Kali Yuga. People ask me, Guruji, is it possible to see God in Kali Yuga? I tell them, lead your life like Tulsidas. You will be able to see him. Kaun kahte hai Bhagavan kaathe nahi. There is a song there, bhajan song. Tum sabari jaise khilate nahi. Kaun kahte hai Bhagavan aate nahi. Tum mira jaise bulate nahi. So it is up to us to see God, even in these times. But you must be prepared to do that sacrifice. You know, if you look at Tulsidas ji's story, there is one interesting episode which we should know how he looks at everything. Now one night he was sleeping. A couple of thieves entered his home by making a hole to the wall, outside wall, and entered inside. Now Tulsidas ji is a saint. What they find? At the most they will find one Achaman Patra, one Asan, and maybe a couple of Sukshuvas for doing some Yaga, a bed sheet, etc., etc. So disappointed, disillusioned, they wanted to go back. So they put their necks out of that hole again. Suddenly they found 2 people standing outside. They were only seeing the 4 feet there, 2 feet in blue color and 2 feet in white color. Because they were on the ground, so they made a hole there to the wall, so they stretched their neck out of that wall, and they found these 4 feet there. They said, somebody is standing there, let us sit inside. They waited some time. After 1 hour, again they tried. Again they found that there. This drama continued throughout the night. Now it was 4 a.m. in the morning. Tulsidas ji got up. Suddenly he found some strangers inside. He asked them, who are you? Then they confessed, because those days at least truth was there. So they confessed. They said, anyway we are caught now, he is going to hand over to the police. So we better tell them truth or whatever it is. So they confessed, saying that we are thieves. We came inside to steal your property, whatever belongings are there. Then he told them, then why didn't you go? You should have taken and gone. They said, that much intelligence we also have. We could have gone. But when we looked out, there are two people standing there. Tulsidas ji was surprised. He came out and he has seen there was nobody there. He came inside again and then said, look, there is nobody. You can go. So they looked outside and they said, yes, they seem to have left. And curious, Tulsidas asked these guys, who were they? How were they? They said, no, we could not see the entire body because we were looking from outside. We just seen 2 feet which were in bluish color and 2 in white color. Then he realized that it was Ram and Lakshman ji standing guard to his house. And he told these thieves, Ram, Lakshman were guarding my property, the whatever little belongings I have. For that, they have lost their whole night's sleep for this. So you better take away everything. I don't want anything now. I don't want my Lord Rama and Lakshman to lose their sleep to protect my property coming forward. So he handed over the entire property to them, whatever that little he had. So that means he has not seen the thieves there. In this episode, what he has seen is, if it were some average person, what he would have done? He did not behave like that. He was looking at Almighty's presence even in his. So that is how we have to transform ourselves if we want to see God. But anyway, they are great people. They are great souls. Born for a purpose, and the purpose is to help people like us to uplift from our sorrows. Unless he is giving us that kind of Hanuman Chalisa. So he lived in 16th century. And the emergence of Hanuman Chalisa is also an interesting story. You know, one day Tulsidas ji came to Pandharpur, had darshan there, and was performing his daily rituals on the banks of Chandrabhaga river. There used to be a blind person in that town, those days, in that village rather, and he was most disregarded, disrespected with his own family members. So frustrated, he decided to commit suicide by jumping into Chandrabhaga river. So he was walking, rather running fast, quickly towards Chandrabhaga river. It was early morning, so he could not see. Tulsidas ji was sitting there and doing Anushtana. So while running, he had hit him and fell down. That woke Tulsidas ji from his Anushtana, and he said, I am very sorry, my friend. I came on your path. Please forgive me. Look at me and forgive me. This is what he said. So when the person stood up and looked at him, he got his vision back. So he realized and he fell on Tulsidas' feet. And now this person started spreading news that here is a great soul who has taken away my blindness and given me my vision. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim etkrupa tamaham vande paramananda madhavam. This is what Bhagavatam says. So if God wants, he decides, he can make a deaf person listen, a dumb person speak, etc., etc. So that is what happened. So here is a living God. So the news spread like that to Delhi. The so-called great ruler Akbar was the Badshah there. It went to him. So he summoned. He said, somebody is there in Chitrakoot by name Tulsidas, bring him. So the soldiers brought him. Now when he came there, Akbar told him, I listen that you are doing some miracles. I want you to do something miracle and demonstrate to me now. I want to see. I will get satisfied and give you a lot of money or whatever you want. Then Tulsidas ji said, I am not a person who can do miracles. I don't know how to do miracles. All I do is I praise Lord Rama and Hanumanji. He said, no, I heard a lot about you. You did like this to a person who was blind. You got him a vision back. So he was insisting on that. That debate continued for some time, and then finally Akbar got angry. Emperors, if they get angry, then he ordered his men to punish Tulsidas ji. So the punishment was about to be executed. The soldiers had what is called as Korada, we call in Telugu, which is used for hunter. Yeah. So they picked that up, but they were not able to move the hands anymore. Suddenly they found millions and millions of monkeys coming in. Even Akbar saw that. Their hands were stuck like this. They could not move anymore. Then Akbar realized and fell on the feet of Tulsidas ji. Tulsidas ji said, what happened? He is not able to see all this. Only Akbar and the soldiers were seeing all the monkeys around. So he is not able to see, so he asked, what happened? Then Akbar said, this is what? We are seeing all monkeys here and my soldiers are not able to move their hands. Then Tulsidas ji realized and cried. He literally cried there, tears rolling down his cheeks. He chanted Hanuman Chalisa there. So what it means is, if we really want the result to come out of Hanuman Chalisa Parayana, okay, we don't have to cry from tomorrow, but what it means is, we have to be emotionally connected to Lord Hanuman. That is the stage of emotion at which he chanted Hanuman Chalisa. Jai Hanuman Jnana Guna Sagar, Jai Kapish Tehlo Kapujagar. This is how it goes. So it starts with Jai. Jai means victory. In Sanskrit, what the word Jai means, one who is above all. That is why we say Jai Sriram. So Jai Ho, we say that because we means that the person is above all. So Hanuman ji is above all for Tulsidas ji, and therefore he started with Jai Hanuman. And he explains the qualities of Hanuman ji in the first 10 slokas. They are called Chaupahis. Of course, that is the language that is used by him is local dialect in Bihar, Uttar Pradesh border, because he is from Chitrakoot in UP. So in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh border, some villages, they use a language a dialect called as Avadhi. So this Hanuman Chalisa is in Avadhi language, more or less similar to Hindi, but there will be some differences. So the dialect that he has used is Avadhi. In that language, he chanted this. So Jai Hanuman, Jnana Guna Sagar. Jnana means knowledge, and Guna means virtue. Sagar, of course, means ocean. It's ocean of knowledge and virtues. Today's generation is knowledgeable, but what about virtues? Knowledge without virtue or virtues without knowledge, both are not good. You are too good to be taken for a ride, then you suffer. You must have the knowledge what is required, and you are too knowledgeable but egoistic. What is the use? So you must be humble, which is a virtue, and knowledgeable. He is a Nava Vyakarana Pandita. But yet he says Ramaduta. Jayajyati Balo Ramo Lakshmanasya Mahabalaha Raja Jayada Sugrivo Raghavena Viparitam Dasoham Kosalendrasya. He puts himself as a servant to Rama. Despite being a knowledgeable person, he is very humble. That is a virtue what we have to learn from Hanumanji. So knowledge is, again, when he says knowledge, what is that knowledge? Does it mean knowledge on artificial intelligence? Knowledge on Python? Knowledge on C, Java, whatever it is? Or knowledge about geography, physics, chemistry? No. It is knowledge about oneself. That is called Atma Vidya. Knowing yourself is the first essential knowledge that anybody has to go through. If you sit for some time and ask a question yourself, who am I? Then they say, if someone asks me, who are you? I say, I am Chandramurthy or Sriramachandramurthy, okay. But this is the name given to me by my father. If my father would have given me a name of Venkateshwar Rao, I would have said Venkateshwar Rao. So I am not Chandramurthy, it is my name. Just like Hanuman. Hanuman is not his name. His name is Sundara Subhaga Sriman Hanuman Marutatmaja. His mother named him as Sundar because he is son of Kesari Nandan. Following the Tamil Nadu culture, we can say K. Sundar. But he is called Hanuman. What it means is, it is a character for that. Like we say, the tall guy, or a short guy, or a fat guy, or a lean guy. These are all characters of the person as they are visible. So, he who has swollen gums, Hanuman means that. But that is a boon given by Brahmaji when he had tried to go, you know all these stories, so I am not going into the details of that. So when he flies to catch sun, thinking it to be an apple, which is, imagine 149.75 million kilometers from here. As a young baby, he jumps. Now, that is what is surprising for even gods. They were all worried. So Indra comes running and tries to hit him with his Vajrayudha. And for that hit, the hit that is taken, he falls down unconscious. Now his father being Vayu, he says, okay, you have hit my son, so I will not do my duty. He stops. So if air is not spreading, the entire universe comes to a halt. So all the devatas plead him and give him boons. And one of the boon given, and the name given, boon given by Brahmaji was that even my Brahmastra will not do any harm to him. So with that boon only he goes to Lanka and then faces Indrajit, all that story you know. So, and then Brahmaji says he will be now known to the world as Hanuman. One who has the swollen gums here. So, but his name is Sundar. So, the jnana, what you have to acquire is about oneself. So, jnana, guna, sagara. So, what we have to learn from Hanumanji is what knowledge we are acquiring. Do I know who am I? So as I said, I am Chandramurthy because my father gave me that. Or I am wife, husband of so and so, brother of so and so, son of so and so, father of so and so. These are all my characters. This is not my true self. So what is my true self? When I say my, it means all of us. We need to question ourselves and try to understand that knowledge he is talking about. And those who chant Hanuman Chalisa will get that knowledge as to who they are. That is called Atma Vidya. The eventual conclusion of this human life is to learn and understand who am I. That's why anybody goes to Ramana Maharshi, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi in South India, anyone going to him and asking him any question, the first thing he used to ask them, who are you? Then he says, my name is so and so. He says, that is your name. I am so and so. That is your father's name. Or I am so and so doing, that is your profession. That is your qualification. I am Dr. so and so. Then that is your qualification. So one gets to know who he is. That is the true knowledge. So Jnana Guna Sagara. Jai Kapisha Tihuloka Ujagara. Kapisha, as I already touched upon this, he is Lord of. Now, Vanaras, don't think that they are like today's monkeys. Those days in Ramayana, in Treta Yuga time, that used to be one race where monkeys, the form was like monkey with a tail for them, but they were co-living with human beings. They were also doing all Nitya Karma, like Sandhyavandanam. We have seen that in Bali doing Sandhyavandanam. So they were intelligent as human beings. They had the ability to speak, communicate. All the intellects what human being had, that race used to have, that has become extinct now. We don't have that race now. So the kind of monkeys what we are seeing, that is not true Hanuman's self. Okay, so don't imagine that it is this kind of monkey there. Okay, so Kapisha Tihuloka Ujagara. Ujala, you would have heard this in Hindi. Uja means lighting. See, once we light a lamp here, it drives off the darkness. We don't have to do anything to drive the darkness off, we just have to light a lamp. So Hanumanji is giving light, that means driving off the darkness in 3 lokas. Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Suvarloka. Bhuloka is a place where human beings live and reside. Bhuvarloka is a place where it is called Pitruloka. That means before the soul takes another birth, it resides there in Bhuvarloka for some time and comes back. And then Suvarloka is where gods reside. All these 3 lokas, whatever ajnana in the form of darkness is there, that is driven off by Hanumanji. For those of you who do Sandhyavandanam, same is the story. When you do Sandhyavandanam, you chant there Asavadityo Brahma. What it means is, look, the sun is Brahma. Because he is enlightening the 3 lokas. The same sun is visible in Bhuvarloka and Suvarloka also. So, Jai Hanumana Jnana Guna Sagara, Jai Kapisa Tihuloka Ujagara, Ramaduta. So who is he? He is a messenger of Rama. Now he wouldn't like him to be put at any other position. He prefers himself to be recognized as Ramaduta only. That is where he takes satisfaction. Now what is this thinking? What it means to us is, even if you have accomplished something, a good accolades in your career, if your feet are not on the ground, you are bound to fall one day. So you must always have your feet on the ground. That's why you see our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji sometimes washing the feet of cleaning people, person who involved in that. Because he reminds himself that yes, I am not above anybody. I am as good as them. So therefore Hanumanji also, his character is like that. He wants himself to be recognized as Ramaduta. But what he has is Atulita Baladhama. Dhama means place of stay. Char Dham we say. Gangotri, Yamunotri and Badrinath and Kedarnath. These are the 4 places where Vishnu Bhagavan stays in Badrinath and Shivaji stays in, Shiva Bhagavan stays in Kedarnath. Ganga's home is Gangotri and Yamuna in Yamunotri. So therefore these are Char Dhams. Dham in Sanskrit means place of residence, house. It is their house. Atulita Baladham. Atulita means unmeasurable. You can't measure. You can't say, okay, his energy is equal to, like what for Bhima, for example, they say his strength is equal to 10,000 elephants. That is Bhima's Bala. But this is something which is immeasurable. So, and of course, Anjani Putra. Anjani is a Apsarasa, by name Punjukasthala. She had a wavering mind as an Apsarasa at one point of time. So she's tried to insult one Muni who gave her a curse. This is a story there in Parasara Samhita. We come across all these stories, all the reasons behind this. So she takes birth as Anjani Devi and gives birth to Hanumanji. Anjani Putra and Pavana Sutta Nama. Pavana means again wind. So son of wind, so therefore Pavana Sutta Nama. Mahavira. He is victorious with valor. Bajrangi. His body is like diamond. Vajra is, diamond is the hardest thing on this in physics. You start with talc, gypsum, calcium, like that it goes. And finally the diamond is while talc is the softest material, diamond is the hardest material on this universe. Now hardest material, what it means is, we also need to be harder sometimes with our own kith and kin for their good. Like we see all mothers doing that with their children. Sometimes fathers do it, sometimes they don't do, but invariably mothers are always like that. So that is what he has, a Vikrama, Bajrangi, Kumati Nivara, Sumati Ke Sangi. This is where I talked about Buddhi. Ku is a word for negative and Su is for good. So Mati means what comes out of the mind, the decision making that has been done. So when you decide something, it should be a good decision. So Hanuman Chalisa chanting will help us. Kumati Nivara, that means remove negative thinking and push in positive thinking. Sumati Ke Sangi. Kanchana Varana Virajasya Vesa, that is now he is explaining him how he looks at Hanumanji. He is in a golden color. Suvesha. Suvesha means dressed to occasion. A person who knows how to dress to the occasion. I can't come in a half pant and a t-shirt for this talk. The content may be same. I may be the same person. You only get one chance to make the first impression. So when you go for an interview, you dress yourself properly and go. So for the dressed to the occasion, Hanumanji is dressed to the occasion. What he means is, that is the message he is giving to all of us. You learn, Suvesha means dress to the occasion properly. Hanumanji is always like that. He is dressed to the occasion. That is why you find sometimes up to half pants in him. You find sometimes in dhoti. Hanumanji also is alankaram done like that if you go to Hanuman temples. Kanana Kundala Kunchita Kesa. He is describing how Hanumanji is like, because Tulsidas ji is the latest person who has seen Hanumanji now. We are in 21st century, but in 16th century he has seen Hanumanji. So how he has seen and how he appeared for him is Kanana Kundala Kunchita Kesha. That means there are earrings for him and a curly hair. Kunchita Kesha means curly hair. Hatha Vajra or Dvaja. In one hand he is holding the Vajrayudham and other hand he is holding the victory flag. Dvaja. That means always ever prepared and ready to be victorious. We are preparing ourselves with this victorious outcome. So like they say, you begin with an end in mind. When you start something, you must know that you will be successful. Your sankalpa siddhi. There should not be any doubt when you are chanting Hanuman Chalisa. your outcomes are granted, that you will be successful. So be prepared for a success party for whatever you have started. Celebrations are due. There is no doubt. That's what he means by holding it on the right hand. If you are my follower, that means Hanumanji's follower. If you are Hanumanji's follower, whatever efforts you put in will be successful. Kanje munje jane usaje. This again he explains. Munji is one form of grass, and Janu because he is a Pandit. He has Navavyakarana, knowledge of all 9 kinds of grammars. So he is a learned man. So learned people used to wear what is called as Yajnopavitam, what we call today, and Munji. So he was wearing that with Darbha, one form of grass. Janu Usaje. Sankara Suvana. We said already this incarnation of Lord Hanuman. Kesari Nandana, son of Kesari. Teja Pratapa Mahajagavandana. That means the entire universe worships him for his victory or valor what he has, for his courage. So universe bows to his feet. So who am I? Now one interesting information that you get from Google, if you search which god has maximum temples, we all think normally it is Venkateshwara or Vishnu or Rama, it is Hanuman. Who has many followers? It is Hanuman. Who does many chants of which god? It is Hanuman. Why? Because if you have to chant Venkateshwara Suprabhatam, it is too long. It is too much time taking. Too tough. Sanskrit words. Except for Kausalya, Supraja Rama, Purva Sandhya Pravartate, the next one onwards it becomes, the more you go, the more it becomes tougher to chant. Whereas Hanuman Chalisa is very simple. So, without any restriction of age, caste, creed, community, region, religion, everybody is free to chant, and therefore they are all chanting. Millions and millions are chanting that. That's why Mahajagavandana. Vidyavana Guni. This I have already commented in the very beginning itself. Jnana Guna Sagara. So Vidyavan and Guni is nothing but Jnana and Guna. Same thing again here. But the word important here is Ati Chatura. That means those who chant Hanuman Chalisa will be, Chaturatvam means intelligent. Now this intelligence sometimes can be for negative also. So Hanumanji doesn't let that happen. You will grow your intelligence, you will improve upon that, and you will take intelligent decisions. Your moves will all be intelligent because he is Chatur. How is Chatur? One example we see in Sundarakanda again. Okay, he goes to Lanka, searches all that, did not find Sita Mata, and then finally he sits on Simsupa Vriksha, and under that he finds one lady sitting there in a very sorrowful state, and then Ravan comes and talks to her, so he decides now it is Sita only. Now he has to talk to her. Now he thinks, he says, which language should I speak? Should I speak Sanskrit? Then if I speak Sanskrit, Sita Mai will misunderstand me as Ravana coming in another form, because he is already experienced now. He has come in the form of Sadhu earlier. Now he will come as Vanara. So she will not trust me. So he thinks about various Indian languages. And finally he chooses that dialect which is used in Ayodhya to communicate to her. Raja Dasaradonam. Of course, Valmiki has given again in Sanskrit only to us. That whole verses are all in Sanskrit, but he makes a mention there that he speaks to her in the local dialect. And then Sita Mata asks him, after he starts talking to him, she wants to confirm, so she asks him, Kadam Uruhu, Kadam Bahuhu. You say you have seen Rama. Tell me, how are his shoulders? And how are his Uru means thighs. Now will anybody ask like this? She has asked him because she wanted to confirm her state of will. It is Sita Mai's state of mind is in a different situation. We should understand that when asking this. And Hanumanji answers, Rama Kamalapatrakshi. He describes his eyes. He did not explain how are his thighs. Of course, later on, subsequently, he goes step by step. He narrates everything on that. So he uses his intelligence to communicate in a decent, diplomatic, dignified way. So Ati Chatur. And he is Ramakaja Kariveko Atar. What is he concerned about? He is not concerned about himself, but he is concerned about performing Ram's work. We see that in Sundarakanda again, when he starts flying from across the ocean. Mainaka Parvata stands up and says, Hanumanji, take rest on me, take some honey, beautiful fruits are here, energize yourself, revitalize, take rest and go. He says, sorry, I am on mission, Rama, so I can't stop. I am touching them and it is as good as I have accepted. So he uses his intelligence, but he is in a hurry to do Rama Karya. So whoever is doing Rama Karya, for them Hanumanji's help is there. Now what is Rama Karya for us? For him, okay, he has a Rama Karya. For us, for Rama Karya, for us is Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma. Rama is, it's an embodiment of Dharma. So whoever is following Dharma, whoever is on the path of righteousness, Dharma is nothing but righteousness, right way of leading life for the kids. You should understand what is meant by Dharma. Dharma is nothing but lead a rightful life. You should pray Hanuman to bless your studies, enlighten your mind, strengthen your memories, direct your will towards what is right, and grant you to speak the truth always. This is Dharma. So whoever is treading the path of Dharma, Hanumanji is Kariveko Atur, that means he is in a hurry to help them perform that task. Ramakaja Kariveko Atur. And what is his time pass activity? Not Instagram, not Facebook, not YouTube. Right? His time pass activity is Prabhu Charitra Suniveko Rasya. He is more keen on always listening about stories of Ram, Ramayana, Ram Nam, anything related to do with Ram. He is very keen on that. Prabhu Charitra Suniveko Rasya. And excellently explained by Tulsidas ji, Rama Lakhana Sita Manabasiya. Now what normally people think is, he has kept Ram, Lakshman and Sita in his heart. No. Of course he has. But what it means is Rama, Lakhana and Sita have put Hanuman in their heart. So you have to go into the Almighty's heart. That starts by you keeping Almighty in your heart, of course. When Hanumanji goes and talks to Sita Mai in Lanka, Sita Mai says this, Tvamasmin Karya Niryoge Pramanam Harisattama. You are the person who can deliver good to me. So she keeps him in his heart for the rest of her life. Then when he returns back from Lanka and meets Rama and tells him, yes, I have seen Sita, then Rama says, I do not have anything to repay you. But not repaying is Krutagna in Sanatana Dharma. You have to repay back the help that you have taken from somebody. May not be immediately on the same day to the same person at the same time, but whenever you get an opportunity. Kritecha pratikartavyam esha dharma sanatanaha. So this is what Sanatana Dharma says, but I am in a situation now, I cannot do anything, but I am keeping you in my heart. This is the gift I give you, and then he embraces Hanumanji. Afterwards, when the war takes place, and Hanumanji Lakshmanji fell unconscious. We all know that story. He brings in Sanjeevani mountain and then helps Lakshman regain consciousness. Lakshmanji gets up and thanks Hanuman by telling him, you have given me a life again, Hanumanji, so therefore you are in my heart for the rest of my life. So Rama Lakhana Sita Manabasiya Sukshma Rupa Dharisya Adhikava Vikata Rupa Dhari Lanka Jarava. Do I have time or I think started there? 15 minutes? Okay. I'll go a bit fast. Sukshma Rupa Dhari Siyadikava Vikata Rupa Dhari Lanka Jarava. So he has taken a very infinitesimally small form and enters Lanka and takes a gigantic form to kill the Rakshasas. Now that is a physical transformation for him. But what is the message to us in that? No matter whatever stage you achieve in your life, no matter whatever are your accomplishments, you may be a Vikata Rupa Dhari, as CMD of a 10,000 plus employees multinational company. You must have accomplished so many things in your life. That is your Vikata Rupa. But you must also have Sukshma Rupa, which is being humble, humility. So learn this from Hanuman Chalisa. When he says Sukshma Rupa Dharisya, where needed, you should learn where you should be able to extend it to the situation required and compress yourself. That is what called Sukshma Rupa Dhari and Vikata Rupa Dhari. When he says that is a message it is given to mankind. Bhima Rupa Dhari Asura Samhare. If you have to deal with cruel people, you have to be cruel sometimes in life. And Ramachandra ke Kaja Savare, that means he is sorting out the works for Lord Rama. Layasa Jeevana Lakhana Jiyaye, you brought him, Lakshman, back to life. Just like you brought Lakshman back to life, whoever is chanting Hanuman Chalisa, for them he will bring Sanjeevani in some form or other. Because Hanumanji himself doesn't know what is the herb that could cure Lakshmanji. So he brought entire Sanjeevani mountain. Like that, if your diseases are unknown to him also, he will bring what is required to be cured. So therefore we chant and we praise that quality in Hanumanji, praying him to give us arogata. So therefore, Tulsidas ji has put this stanza here to remind us that yes, we need health also. Shri Raghavira Harashi Uralaya. That means you brought back smiles in Lord Rama. How will we bring back smiles in Lord Rama? By treading the path of Dharma. That is the message to us. We have to constantly, like if you read Bhagavad Gita, the first sloka in Bhagavad Gita says, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samadeta Yutsavaha. People read it as Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. What it means is, Kshetre kshetre dharmam kuru. That means wherever you are, stick to your dharma. If you stick to your dharma, wherever you are, because if I am with my wife, I have a bhartru dharma. I am with my son, I have a pitru dharma. I am with my brother, I have a bhratru dharma. I am with my friend, I have a mitra dharma. So wherever I am, I need to learn and know and be in that path of dharma. And that is what Hanumanji, for those people, he will help. Sri Raghavira Harshi Gurulaya. That is what brings in cheers and smiles to Lord Rama, which makes Hanumanji feel happy because of us. You brought smiles to Rama, and therefore he will serve you. He is a messenger to you now. Ramaduta means those who are dharma anushtatas. Raghupati kinhi bahut badai, kaha bharat samatum priya bhai. So Lord Rama got excited and said, you are like my brother, Bharata. Sahasa vadana tumaro esagavai. Asakahi Sripati Kanthalagavai. This is again praising Vishnu Sahasranamam if you start. So there are, Sahasra means, we interpret it as 1,000, but actually it means infinite in Sanskrit. So he himself, Lord Rama himself, embraced you and Kanthalagavai. Sanakadika Brahmadi Munisha Narada Sarada Sahita Ahisha. What it means is Sanaka, Sanandana, these are the most learned persons on this universe. In the galaxies of universe, if you have to name somebody who is highly learned, that is Sanaka Sanandanadi, Sanat Kumara, Sujat, there are 4 people. Those people also praise Hanumanji. Brahmadi, all, Adi means all gods, starting from Brahma. Narada, Sharada, that means Saraswati. Sahita, Ahisha, Ahisha is, Ahi means serpents. So the Lord of serpents is Garutmanta. So even Garutmanta praises Hanumanji. There is a story about that in Parashara Samhita. Explains where Hanumanji helped Garutmanta to do certain things. So he also chanted in praise of Lord Hanuman. Yama Kubera Digapala. We have Ashtadigpalakas, starting with Indra, Agni, Yama, Nirvita, Varuna, Vayu, Kubera, Isana. All these Ashtadigpalakas who are governing this universe from 8 directions, they all praise Hanuman Chalisa. They chant Hanuman. I mean, not Chalisa, they praise Hanumanji. And Kavi Kovida Kahi. So many of the poets and all have chanted and praised Hanumanji. Tuma upakara sugriva kinha Ramamilaya Rajapata dinha. The help that you have done to Sugriva is not an ordinary thing. Just imagine, because he could connect Rama with Sugriva, Sugriva got his kingdom back. If it is in modern days, we would have asked 50% share. Or like what is happening back in India, because I am responsible for you to get this kingdom, 6 months you will be the ruler, 6 months I will be the ruler. He did not put that condition. Hanumanji just simply helped him by making him the ruler forever. Now we are seeing the trend in India back. He did not ask for any percentage on that. Tomorrow mantra vibhishanamana. There is a mantra that this story comes in Parasara Samhita again. Vibhishan asks him, do you think Ram will accept me because I am from enemy camp? So there will be a doubt that I am from, what you call here, you got intelligence services or special services group people. So Ram may suspect me and may not allow. So what should I do? Then he gives him a mantra. You see, he says, you chant this mantra, Ram will accept you. And what is that mantra? Rama Taraka mantra. That is Lord Rama's oath. Whoever chants that, he will protect them. So therefore, Rama Milaya Rajapati. For him also he got Lanka because of Hanumanji only. There also he could have asked for share. He did not do that. Tumaro mantra vibhishan mana Lankeswar bhai sab jag jana. He is known everywhere. Yuga sahasra yojana par bano, which is the sun which is in 149.5 million kilometers. Lilyo tahi madhurapalajan. You just simply flew like a bird there, thinking that it is an apple. And Prabhu Mudrika Mel Mukhamahi. You brought that Mudrika and gave it to Sita Mai to see bring smiles on her face. For that, Jaladilangi gaye acharajanahi. Goshpadi Kutavarasim Masaki Kutarakshasam. This is the word which used by Sita Mai in place of Hanumanji. She said, Hanumanji, you have just crossed the ocean of 100 yojanas, just like a cow jumps a small rivulet or a small canal. You did very simply, very easily. So Jaladi Langi gaye acharajanahi. Durgama Karya. Durgama Kaja it says, but what it means is Karya. That means what is not easy to accomplish, one can accomplish by chanting Hanuman Chalisa. Anything you have, you think it is difficult to achieve, just decide yourself, okay, I am going to do this. I will chant Hanuman Chalisa and I will do this task. You will be able to. Durgama Kaja, Jagatike Jete. Sugama Anugraha Tumarete. It becomes easy. Sugama. Sugama means becomes easy with your blessings. Ramaduare Tumarakhavare. That means you have to go to Rama. Dwara means the door. He is the doorkeeper. You have to take his permission to go to Lord Rama. Without him, you cannot go to Lord Rama. Just like without personal secretary's clearance, you cannot meet any minister or a prime minister. You cannot go to Lord Rama without Hanumanji. Hotan Agnya Binupai Sare. If your order is given, then only it is possible. Sabasakalahi Tumhari Sharana. All challenges will disappear if I fall in feet and surrender to you. Sharana means surrender. Tumarakshaka Kahu Ko Dharana. When you are there, no fear. That is disappears. Fear disappears. So now from the fearful state, we have moved to fearless state. Because we are chanting Hanumanji's Chalisa and Hanumanji is behind me. Takkuvemi manaku Ramundokadundu varaku Pakatoduga Bhagavantudu tanu Chakradhari Chantane undaga. There is one song in praise of Lord Rama. What it means is when we have Lord Rama, when he is with me, then I don't have any deficiency in my life because he is there with me. Ramaduvare, Tumarakavare, Hotanajna, Binupai Chale, subsequently Tumare, Tumarakshaka Kahu Kodarna. That is where I was. Apanatej Samharo Apai. That means, see, all these divine forces will have a special energy. We activate that energy. And then we call it a Udvasana mantra. And then our Digbandaha and Digvimokaha, etc. when we do mantras. So we activate and we dissipate. When we do Udvasana, it is dissipated. But Hanumanji's energy is like that, which cannot be dissipated. Because it is universally spread. What is Hanumanji's energy? Wind. Wind is spread universally. Don't think Hanumanji means, okay, that's a, I'll give you a summary of that. Hanumanji means it is only in that form. It is a God. What actually means in Sanatana Dharma, even in science also, it is a form of energy. God is a form of energy. The energy manifest, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be converted from one form into another. This is what even science says, that thermodynamic law. So it is present, there is energy which is omnipotent, omnipresent and omniscient. So I can convert the thermal energy into wind energy into hydel energy into chemical energy. I can do that conversions, I can do, but the energy is prevalent. So that wind energy, what science is calling wind energy, we are calling Hanumanji. Now this Hanumanji, which is in the form of wind energy, can take any form. Wind can take any form. So formless. But why have we given this form? Because Ramayana told us this is the form. That is as per Ramayana. Now you are seeing me like this. If you see me in office, you will be probably seeing me in suit and boot. I have changed my dress. So like that, the gods can appear, they are formless. So the first understanding that you have to do, this why this form is given is to start with, to understand that. So therefore, apanatej samaro apai. You can only dissipate your strength. We are not competent. Tino loka hankate kampai. All the three lokas, Bhur, Bhuvaswar loka, are afraid of Hanuman, came out of the Hanka. So if he shouts, then all the three lokas will be worried. Bhuta Pisacha Nikata nahi aavai. Now these Bhuta and Pisachas in these days, do they exist?
No.
They do. They do in the mind. They are not outside. All the negative thoughts, all the negative emotions, they are all Bhuta Pisachas. You have to drive them out. Retain only physical, positive thoughts. So if you don't want that negative thoughts to come into your mind, you chant Hanuman Chalisa, they don't come. Nikata nahi aavai. Mahavir jab naam sunavai. Nasai roga harai sab pira. Japata nirantara Hanumata Veera. Another 2 minutes, I'll close. Okay. So when you are falling sick, nothing comes to your mind. First priority is to get all right. Get well soon. Get well soon. Everybody says, get well soon. Get well soon. So those who are chanting Hanuman Chalisa will be driven off even if some fever attacks them. That will drive them off. So when you are falling sick, chant Hanuman Chalisa. Sankata se Hanuman achudavai. That means he will push you out of difficulties. Sankat means difficulties. Sankat Mochan Hanuman Mandir is there. Many places in India. Maybe here also it must be there, somewhere in US also. So when you have some challenges and difficulties, you visit that place and offer your prayers, he will let you free from that Sankat. And how he does it? Mana krama vachana dhyana jolavai. Mana and vachana. So you perform your duties and tasks with your mind and voice. Mana and vachana. Simply chanting Malato karme phire, jeev phire mukamahi, manuvato chaudhis phire yato samarana nahi. This is what Tulsidas also said. You keep chanting Lalita Sahasranamam and then start thinking about tomorrow's work. No use. Your chant and mind should match. So that is what Hanuman Chalisa chanting will help you. All these things do not happen tomorrow. Okay, don't expect them. Over a period of time, it takes time for things to settle down. If a baby has to be delivered, you have to wait for 9 months. It can't happen the next day. Like this also is a process. You have to let this go through this process. Sankata se Hanuman chudavai. How he does is mana krama vachana dhyana jolavai. Sab par Rama tapasvi Raja. He lets the blessings of Lord Rama on everybody. Tinke kaj sakalatum saja. No other work, if you have in your mind and concentrate on Lord Rama, this is possible. Aur manoradha jo koi lavai, whatever things you want, manoradha means whatever you want in your mind, sankalpam or manoradhaha, whatever are there. Aur manoradha jo koi lavai, tasu amita jivana falapavai. They will definitely accomplish those. This is what Tulsidas ji's blessings. Charo yuga pratapatum hara. Char yuga, that means you have Kruta yuga, Treta yuga, Dwapara yuga and Kali yuga. He is a Chiranjeevi. So his efficiencies and service are throughout the time. That means he is a timeless energy capsule for us. Hai Prasiddha Jagati Vijayara. And you have become very popular by making this world and universe. Sadhu Santake Tumara Khavare, Asuranikandana Ramadilare. That means those who are sadhus and sant purushas, satpurushas who are on the path of dharma, righteousness, he is protector of those, and Asuranikandana. And he is eliminator of, destroyer of Durjana. Ashta Siddhi, I said what are those Ashta Siddhis in the beginning itself? Buddhir Balam, Yasho Dhairyam, Nirbhayatvam Arogata, Ajadyam, Vakpatutvam Cha. And Navanidhi Ke Data, Navanidhis are there, we will talk on some other time again. There are 9 kinds of fortunes that humans aspire for, and they should have all these 9, and he will give all that. It doesn't matter whether I explain or not, whether you know or not, because it is, he will give. If you chant, he will give, because if you take a tablet, it works. It doesn't matter whether you know how it works, what happens to that, what is the outcome of that, how is it working, what is the metabolic system. You don't need to know all that. If you take a tablet, it works like this. If you chant Hanuman Chalisa, he will give. Navanidhi ke data. Asavaradhina Janaki Mata. This is the word given by Janaki Mata. Rama Rasayana Tumhare Pasa. That means the essence of Rama, if somebody wants to get the rasa, what we call the juice of the fruit, which is called rasa. So the essence of Rama, the rasa of Rama is with you. Tumhare Pasa. Sadaraho Raghupati Ke Dasa. You are a messenger to Lord Rama always. Tumhare bhajan Rama ko pavai. Now here he has given back to Rama. If you do bhajan of Hanumanji also, because Hanumanji's bhajan is liked by Rama. What a beautiful understanding between the messenger or the servant and the boss. This is how we have to lead our lives also. The servants in our home, we have to treat them like that. We should be interested in them, they should be interested in us. This is what is the message of Hanuman Chalisa. Antakal Raghupati Purajahi. Whoever chants Hanuman Chalisa will finally go to Vaikuntham. And if they take rebirth, Jaha Janma Hari Bhakta Kahai. If at all they take a rebirth, they will be reborn as Vishnu Bhaktas only. Now don't see the difference between Sivaya Vishnu Rupaya, Siva Rupaya Vishnu. Both are same. Again, don't think they are different. Okay? So therefore, Aura Devata Chittana Dharai. I don't have to do any other god. I am seeing one interesting trend this time in US. People are doing for all gods. Nothing wrong in that. But you lose focus. So Aura Devata Chittana Dharai. I don't keep any other god because, see, Hanuman, we say Ishwar for example. When we say Ishwar, Sajyojata, Vamadeva, Aghora, Tatpurusha, Isana, he has got 5 faces. Hanumanji also has 5 faces. Vande Vanara Narasimha Kagarat, Krodashva Panchananam. He also has 5 faces. So Hanuman is same as Ishwar. You do Hanuman, you have done Ishwar. Somebody may say, no, I want to do Shakti Upasana. I want to do for Mataji. Mukta Vidrumahe Manila Dhavalachaya Mukai Strikshanai. Gayatri mantra also says the same thing. Gayatri also has 5 faces. Hanuman also has 5 faces. If I do Hanuman, then I am doing Gayatri also. So our devata chittana dharai Hanumat se hi sarva sukha kare. Sankata hatai mitai sab pira. All difficulties he will remove and bring in all good wishes. Jo sumirai Hanumata balivira. Whoever does smarana of Hanumanji. So therefore, say with me, Jai Jai Jai. हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाही यह शतवार पाठ कर कोई चूट ही बंदी महासुख होई. Okay, whoever does 100 times, they will have all sorts of accomplishments in life. जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होए सिद्धि Sakhi Gauri Sa. He has put here now Ishvara and Gauri as Sakshi, witness for what he said now. Now whatever is put as Sakshi for this cannot go wrong. Tulsidas Sadahar, normally we chant saying Tulsidas Sadahar Chara. There actually we should replace that word Tulsidas with Sriramachandramurthy Sadahar Chara or your name there and tell him that. Otherwise we are praying for Tulsidas. Okay, it's good. That way it is also good. But it is for us, our prayer, no? So we are doing that. Tulsidas is a great person, we appreciate that, we do that, but for us. Anyway, Pavanatana Sankata Harana, Mangala Maraturu, Ramalakana Sita Sahita Padaya Basavsura Bhuk. Swasti Prajabhya Pariparayantam Nyayena Margena Makim Mahisaha Gobrahmanebhya Subhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukino Bhavantu काले वर्षित पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहिता ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधनाः सदनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदश्चतं धर्मस्य विजयोस्तु अधर्मस्य नाशोस्तु प्राणिनां सद्भावनास्तु गवां संरक्षणास्तु विश्वस्य कल्याणमस्तु. स्वस्ति. Thank you so much for your patient listening. Appreciate your